When people think about where economic thought began, the names that usually come to mind are Adam Smith, Karl Marx, or from the academic side, Aristotle. But in a quieter corner of history, there is another truth that almost nobody knows. Nearly 1,000 years ago, there was no capitalism and no central banks. Yet a Muslim scholar gave such a warning that we can still hear its echo in every financial crisis today. He said, "If money breaks away from morality, society rots from the inside." And when we look at the world today, we realize he understood us far better than we thought. Welcome to the place where money, power, and history meet. Here, nothing is simple. To understand al-Ghazali, imagine a world that feels both familiar and strange. The year is the 11th century. Europe is still struggling, poor, fragmented, and trying to recover. But the Islamic world is completely different, a great civilization stretching from Andalusia to Persia, Baghdad, Damascus, Cairo. Rich, crowded, lively cities. Caravans never stop, trade flourishes, and scholars debate everything from science to law. Markets are vibrant, the empire is wealthy, and money is rapidly reshaping life. And it is exactly in this period that Ghazali emerges, a philosopher, jurist, theologian, and critic. He could talk about the fate of the soul, and also about the monetary system. He held prestigious positions when he was young. But what truly set him apart was this. He did not say, "That's just how things are." He questioned the system he saw. The wealth of the rich was growing, markets were expanding. Yet something felt deeply wrong. People were obsessing over money while ignoring its meaning. On the surface, the economy looked good. But inside, there was decay. And Ghazali asked this question: what happens when a civilization becomes wealthy faster than it becomes wise? The answer, he believed, lies in money. But to find it, you have to look at money itself. Ghazali was often seen as merely a religious thinker. In reality, he was one of the earliest thinkers to study money from a moral perspective. While Aristotle viewed money as a useful invention, and later economists analyzed it through numbers, Ghazali asked something different. How does money change people? How does it influence behavior, trust, and society? Where does it push states and civilizations? For him, money was not an end in itself. It was only a tool that made exchange easier. It was like a mirror. The mirror itself has no value. What matters is the value it reflects. Money is the same. Its value comes from enabling trade, production, and cooperation between people. From this, he came to a conclusion. Money that does not circulate is dead. Locked up money, hoarded wealth that never reaches the market, does not support workers, trade, or families. It freezes the blood flow of society. This isn't just greed. It's a structural problem. When the wealthy hoard money, artificial scarcity appears. Markets distort, people suffer. And another warning, speculation destroys trust. He was very clear about merchants who manipulated markets and profited from crises. It may look clever, but it is corruption, and corruption spreads. First through markets, then institutions, then the entire society. But Ghazali was not against trade or profit. He opposed things like deception, lies, manipulation, and hiding information. Because to him, trust is what keeps the economy standing. If trust collapses, the economy collapses too. His criticism of governments was just as direct. Medieval rulers sometimes reduced the gold or silver content of coins. On paper, money increased, but the people grew poorer. Ghazali called this theft. It destroys trust, pushes the poor into deeper poverty, and rots the system all the way to the top. He had an important line: societies can survive poverty, but they cannot survive corruption. Economies usually don't collapse because money runs out. They collapse because trust runs out. Because money is actually a form of belief. When people stop believing, the system stops working. Ghazali also understood human nature very well. Fearful people hide money. Greedy people speculate. People who feel unseen and unheard cheat. And when everyone begins doing the same things, a collapse has already begun. So he said, economies cannot be fixed unless human behavior changes. Laws, markets, regulations, all important. But behind all of them stand people making emotional decisions. If a system rewards manipulation instead of honesty, the economy grows weaker. To Ghazali, wealth was not evil, but without purpose it was dangerous. Societies grow stronger when people contribute, and weaker when they only take. When wealth becomes detached from responsibility, when wrongdoing spreads, the system collapses, and eventually everyone pays the price. Civilizations rise when they find balance and fall when they lose it. Look at the world today. Inequality is rising, speculation is spreading.